Can you imagine this? There was a seed that once fed an entire great empire, with more complete protein than beef, more iron than spinach, more calcium than milk. And then, entire fields were burned to the ground, people were punished, laws banned it from being grown simply because it was too independent, needing no reliance on any system at all. A tiny seed you can plant right in your backyard, spreading fast like fire, needing almost no care, providing endless leaves and seeds, and just one plant under the right conditions, can supply the nutritional core for an entire family across many seasons. And yet the empire destroyed it. Governments still restrict it today, and most people have never even heard of its true power. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what seed this is, why its nutrition surpasses everything in the supermarket, and why the system is still afraid if you plant even a single seed. Welcome back to the channel, where we expose the plants that power doesn't want you to grow, the foods that make you truly food independent. If you're new here, you're in the right place. Returning viewers and the legends of this channel, thank you for being here. You already know this. When something is banned, burned, erased from history, there is always a reason, and that reason is always control. Before revealing this forbidden super seed, please do me one favor. If you want to see more videos about plants that can truly free you from big ag, hit the subscribe button right now, turn on notifications, and share this video with anyone who needs to wake up. We post new videos about forbidden plants every week, and trust me, what's coming next might make you nervous if you haven't subscribed. It's free, it helps spread the truth, and it might save someone's future. All right, let's begin. This is going to be explosive. Let's talk about the nutrition numbers first, because these numbers will make your jaw drop, and explain why they had to destroy it. Amaranth seeds, dry, up to 13 to 19% protein by dry weight. In terms of pure numbers, amaranth does not beat beef. Beef is about 26%. Don't let these numbers mislead you. The difference with amaranth is not how much protein it has, but what that protein is made of. Unlike wheat, rice, or corn, the protein in amaranth contains all 9 essential amino acids. Especially rich in lysine, the amino acid most grains are severely lacking. In particular, the protein quality of amaranth comes very close to animal sources and surpasses most common plant proteins. This means you don't need complicated food combining to make up for missing amino acids. Amaranth is complete on its own, but the leaves are the real bombshell. Fresh leaves provide about 7 to 13 milligrams of iron per 100 grams, 3 to 4 times more than spinach at just 2.7 milligrams. When dried, the number skyrockets even higher. Perfect for fighting anemia naturally. Iron that's easy to absorb thanks to the vitamin C already present in the leaves. For ancient civilizations, this wasn't a superfood, it was insurance against anemia. One of the most controversial comparisons is between amaranth and milk. In 100 grams of seeds, there are 159 milligrams, more than spinach at 99 milligrams, and cow's milk at 120 milligrams, and it's plant-based calcium, which many people absorb better, no lactose. That means strong bones without needing a single cow. Vitamins are everywhere. Vitamin A higher than carrots, vitamin C on par with oranges, plus magnesium, zinc, B vitamins, manganese, like a multivitamin growing in your backyard. Just a handful of leaves plus a few seeds? More complete nutrition than what most people get in an entire week of processed food. This is not advertising. This is biochemical reality. When you put the pieces together, complete protein, iron, high calcium, diverse minerals. It's gluten-free, has a low glycemic index, and is especially beneficial for vegetarians, people with diabetes, and those with celiac disease. It grows on poor soil, needs no fertilizer. You can harvest both leaves and seeds. It fed millions of people. Needs no supplements, needs no care, needs no complex supply chains. Under the right conditions, amaranth can provide core nutritional needs without any complicated support systems. And that is exactly what makes it dangerous. It wasn't removed because it was weak. It was removed because it did too well what the modern system wants to control. A plant that can feed people without needing to be repurchased every year is always an uncomfortable question for any economy built on dependence. The plant I'm talking about is amaranth, also known as ancient amaranth greens, amaranth grain, huatli of the Aztecs, the small giver of life. It is not just food, it is power. Back to history. More than 8,000 years ago, amaranth was at the center of life in Mesoamerica. It was widely cultivated alongside corn and beans, and was one of the 3 crops required as tribute to the emperor. Every year, thousands of tons of amaranth seeds were harvested to feed the population, providing complete protein for warriors, children, and even religious rituals. During major festivals, especially Panquistadors, the raising of the banners festival honoring the war god Huitzilopochtli, the Aztecs mixed amaranth seeds with honey and sometimes the blood of human sacrifices to form giant statues of the gods. They paraded these statues around the city, then broke them apart for everyone to eat, a ritual symbolizing life, strength, and immortality. Amaranth was not just food, it was a symbol of indigenous power, of a deep connection to the land and the gods. In 1521, after conquering Tenochtitlan, the powerful capital of the Aztec Empire, the Spaniards saw the threat. Amaranth did not only feed the people, it was the soul of the pagan culture they wanted to destroy in order to impose Christianity. Rituals involving amaranth were considered a mockery of the Catholic Eucharist, communion. Amaranth was seen as something that had to disappear. Historical records show the Spaniards burned entire amaranth fields across thousands of hectares. The cultivation of amaranth was banned. Communities that continued to grow it were severely punished. When amaranth disappeared from the fields, rituals vanished, farming knowledge was forgotten, the Aztec people lost food sovereignty, wheat was introduced, corn was restructured. This was not just the destruction of a plant. This was a full-scale campaign of control, breaking the spiritual power of the Aztec people to make domination easier. But amaranth did not die. Like the sunchoke waiting underground, it survived in secret gardens, remote mountain regions of Oaxaca, Puebla, Tlaxcala, and the Guatemalan highlands. Indigenous people hid seeds beneath their floors, secretly planting small plots, and as centuries passed, amaranth was forgotten by most of the world. Yet it endured as a stubborn weed, waiting for the day it would be recognized again. After the 1521 ban, amaranth did not completely disappear. It slowly spread like an unbreakable seed, surviving for centuries in secret gardens and highland regions of Mexico, Oaxaca, Guerrero, Puebla, and Guatemala, where indigenous people cultivated it on small plots under 0.1 hectares to avoid Spanish detection. They hid seeds under their floors, passing them down through generations as an act of resistance, preserving ancestral culture and nutrition. Gradually, through colonial trade, amaranth spread to Europe, though not widely, mostly used as an ornamental plant or bird feed, and to Asia, India via late Silk Road routes around the 17th to 18th centuries, where it blended into local cuisines such as ragira in India. In Africa, through migration and trade in the 19th-20th centuries, it became a drought-resistant crop in Ethiopia and Kenya. Edible varieties, Amaranthus cruentus, hypochondriacus, are legal to grow in home gardens in most parts of the world, including Vietnam and most of the United States. But Palmer amaranth, a wild relative, is classified as a noxious weed and banned in many U.S. states. Minnesota, mandatory eradication. Wisconsin, Washington, Iowa, Ohio, Pennsylvania, zero tolerance. Banned from sale, transport, or cultivation. Even a single seed can result in heavy fines or forced destruction. Why is a plant native to the southwestern Americas, once a staple indigenous food, banned? Why does the system feel threatened when you grow amaranth? Here are the 5 massive reasons the system cannot tolerate it. First, amaranth makes you nutritionally independent. If you have amaranth, you don't need protein powder, you don't need multivitamins, you don't need iron pills, you don't need calcium tablets. You can eat the leaves, eat the seeds, and meet most basic nutritional needs. That means tens of billions of dollars in supplement revenue disappear. Second, amaranth grows incredibly fast and is nearly indestructible. You can harvest leaves in just 3 to 6 weeks. full seeds in 90 to 120 days. It grows on poor soil, survives drought, withstands extreme heat, where other crops die. You plant once, and food comes back season after season. That is the complete opposite of the modern food model, where everything is designed so you have to buy again every year. Third, amaranth requires almost no industrial inputs, no chemical fertilizer, no pesticides, no special irrigation. It laughs at neglect. That is real food security. No corporations required. Exactly the thing they have fought to prevent for over a century. Fourth, it reproduces aggressively and is incredibly versatile. You can harvest leaves continuously, cut, and it grows back lush. Hundreds of grams of nutrient-dense seeds per plant. The leaves are slightly spicy raw, like rocket, mild when cooked. The seeds cook like quinoa, but with far higher nutrition. A small corner of a garden can feed an entire family year-round. This is not a plant. This is a complete food system compressed into a single species, and that is too much independence. Fifth, and this is the core issue, amaranth is extremely hard to control and nearly impossible to lock down. Tiny seeds, self-sowing, freely multiplying from a single plant. No need to buy new seed every year. You can't force farmers to purchase seed annually. You can't build long-term dependency. One food source, self-replicating, no licensing, no system required. Add it all up. If people grow amaranth, the supplement industry collapses, the dairy industry loses its calcium monopoly, fortified processed foods lose their reason to exist, pharmaceuticals lose revenue from deficiency, trillions of dollars are threatened. One tiny seed threatens an entire empire, which is why they burned the fields before and still restrict it today. Now let's talk about what amaranth actually does to human nutrition, because these facts are truly staggering. Studies have shown that adding amaranth leaves and seeds, often in the form of popped amaranth powder or flour, to the diets of malnourished children leads to clear improvements within just weeks to a few months. Rapid weight gain and improved weight for height and height for age indicators. In a 2023 pilot trial, MDPI Foods, stunted children, low height for age, who received daily popped amaranth showed significant recovery in weight and growth, along with improvements in gut microbiota modulation, helping the body absorb nutrients more effectively, increased height and overall physical recovery. Studies in Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya, and India show that supplementing amaranth flour or porridge, combined with sorghum or flaxseed, helps moderately acutely malnourished children significantly reduce wasting. For example, after 5 to 6 months, the rate of wasted children dropped from 35 to 62% to just 12 to 15% in the supplemented group. Randomized controlled trial in Kenya, 2020 to 2025. Improved immunity and reduced anemia. Amaranth is rich in iron, 7.61 milligrams per 100 grams seeds, up to 27.3 milligrams per 100 grams dried leaves, combined with natural vitamin C that improves absorption, leading to significant increases in hemoglobin. A 2025 meta-analysis, Public Health Reviews, confirmed amaranth as an effective iron source for combating anemia in children and breastfeeding mothers, reducing anemia faster than some standard interventions. Better cognitive function and overall recovery. Amaranth supplementation improves gut microbiota, increases production of short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, such as butyrate, supporting the brain, reducing inflammation, and promoting cognitive development. Amaranth doesn't just provide nutrition, it reverses malnutrition. Trials in Africa and Latin America from 2020 to 2025 demonstrate severely malnourished children who consumed daily popped amaranth or flour recovered faster than with other expensive interventions, gaining weight, growing taller, developing stronger immunity, and improving cognition. Why does amaranth have such a powerful impact? Not because of a single compound, but because of a rare combination. Complete protein, helping the body build tissue and grow. High lysine, supporting protein absorption from other foods like rice and corn. Iron and folate, directly affecting blood and energy. calcium and magnesium, supporting bones and the nervous system. Vitamins A and C, strengthening immunity and mineral absorption. When a body is deficient in many micronutrients at once, what it needs is not a pill, but a complete food. And that is exactly what amaranth provides. Most importantly, unlike expensive interventions, amaranth does not require a complex supply chain. It can be grown locally, harvested continuously, used fresh, cooked, or dried, suitable for children, adults, and the elderly. In many communities, just a small change in the diet, adding amaranth leaves or seed flour, has created long-term health impact. Now let's talk about how to grow it. Amaranth is a superfood for the survival gardener. It grows like a weed, is extremely drought tolerant, needs only about 1 inch of water per week when young, then almost takes care of itself, tolerates high heat, 70 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit ideal, and thrives in poor, low-nutrient soil. Once you plant it, it self-spreads. Seeds fall to the ground and regrow the next year, like a perennial-style crop. You can harvest continuously. Leaves. Ready to eat after 3 to 6 weeks. Young leaves are tender for salads or cooked like spinach, regrow after cutting, harvest multiple times. Seeds 90 to 120 days after sowing. Mature seed heads, easy to harvest by cutting the flower heads, rubbing to release seeds, winnowing the chaff. One plant can yield hundreds of pounds of leaves plus seeds, enough complete protein, iron, and calcium for an entire family without buying supplements. In times of drought or food shortage, amaranth is an insurance policy. It laughs at heat and drought and still produces high yields. Simple growing guide for home gardens. Choose a spot with full sun, at least 6 to 8 hours a day. Well-drained soil, regular soil works fine. Sow seeds after the last frost. When the soil has warmed, sow shallow. Just cover with a thin layer of soil. Water consistently when young, then it's very low effort. Harvest leaves from around 25 to 40 days. Harvest seeds when flower heads are completely dry. A handful of amaranth leaves or seeds per day equals comprehensive insurance. That's why it's a top priority in warm climates. Important note for you. If legal, plant now. Get edible varieties. Plant extra as backup. Some wild amaranth species may be restricted in certain places, so always check local regulations before planting. Knowing the law is the best way to stay out of trouble. My prediction: as food prices skyrocket, shortages hit, and malnutrition spreads, amaranth will return. Underground seed networks will spread, bans will collapse. You can't stop a self-replicating superfood. Amaranth is inevitable. The only question is, will you plant it before you truly need it? If this video opened your eyes to the ancient seed they once tried to erase, and why they still fear it, share it now with friends and family who need food freedom. Hit subscribe plus the bell. More forbidden plants are coming. Comment below, are you growing amaranth yet? Is it banned where you live? Who has access to this miracle seed? Complete protein rivaling meat, iron crushing spinach, calcium beating milk, all from one small, free, indestructible seed. That is amaranth. That is why empires burned it. Amaranth survived the Aztec Empire. Through conquest, through forgetting. Plant it if you can. The most powerful foods are always the ones they fear most, huh? Stay free, keep growing. See you in the next video.